on that. Quantities are phenomenally limited.
Yeah, and that's so exciting to have something brand new. So welcome in, everyone. Our next item is a very special opportunity buy. This is the PMint Silver Peace $4 coin set for $499.95. Take it away, Mike, and tell us why this is such a special opportunity. What is a peace dollar? Well, a peace dollar is the United States government started making the Morgans. We've made silver dollars for a long time in this country, since the 1700s. They made the Morgan silver dollar from 1878 to 1921. Well, at the end of World War I, we decided to make a new silver dollar, because understand, silver dollars circulated in this country for hundreds of years. And so we made what was called the peace dollar. And we did that because it was at the end of World War I. And if you remember, if we look at this in God We Trust, and you see this in God We Trust, and right here, the trust, as you can see, the U in trust is a V. If you remember your history lesson, it was V for victory was our motto in World War I. And if you look on the reverse of the coin, there is the eagle that we put in there, and focus closely, if you will, on his feet. You can see the eagle. Usually we have an eagle in flight, and in the eagle's claws, you see only the olive branch of peace. Traditionally, all the eagles in American history have had the olive branch of peace in one claw and the arrows of war in the other. So it's like, okay, either way. Well, at the end of World War I mean, with the devastation that was caused worldwide, this was called the peace dollar for that reason. It was made from 1921 until 1935. It was the last large silver dollar ever made by the United States government in silver, 900 fine silver intended for circulation. So we get 4 of these with a 1922, 1923, 1924, and 1925. And 1925. The 24 and the 25 being by far the rare years. But the real thing about this is not just that you get these coins. The whole deal about this is the grade. Mint State 65. I know today we banter about, and Mint State 67s and 68s and 69s and Mint State 70s, but for older vintage coins, those grades simply don't exist. They made 1 billion Morgan silver dollars. There are 0 Mint State 70s. There are a dozen Mint State 69s. There are 1,000 Mint State 68s, and those coins can sell for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. The average peace dollar has a grade of Mint State 60, 61, maybe 62, and some 63s. When we get to Mint State 65, we are talking about a rarity from a conditional standpoint that is virtually unprecedented. The fact that this is not just an uncirculated coin, or a brilliant uncirculated coin, or a choice brilliant uncirculated coin, but at Mint State 65, you're looking at a gem brilliant uncirculated peace dollar. These are coins, and I have only a handful of the 4 coin sets in the presentation box at $499.95 that you're going to see right here. These are truly and utterly spectacular by condition. I would challenge you to go out in the marketplace and find Mint State 65 peace dollars if you could find any 2 of these for $499.95. And that's the issue that you're going to have, is that in this grade, like I said, I would in 64 and or 24 and 25 to be able to get these in Mint State 65. I would challenge you to find either one of those at $499.95 in Mint State 65. They represent, of all of the peace dollars that are out there, probably 1/100th of 1% of the coins in terms of grade, in terms of condition, in terms of collectability. So it's not just the fact that we give you what is the first 4 collectible years of the United States peace dollar, 22, 23, 24, and 25, but in an incredibly, phenomenally high grade. We take these to Mint State 66, and that collection all of a sudden is going to be worth somewhere between $50,000 and $70,000. So that's the break point. Traditionally, for most people, it's Mint State 63 for these coins. At the very most, at $499, you're going to get Mint State 64. The difference of that one additional point, grade point is phenomenal. And for us to be able to do these at only $125 a coin, I think is truly spectacular. It's a unique
unique collectible and numismatic opportunity.
And a lot of these are HSN exclusives, right,
Yes,
Mike?
precisely,
That you cannot find anywhere else. I mean, we rely on Mike, our coin expert, to bring you these incredible values. He knows how to get his hands on these. I'm sure it's a lot of relationships that are important in the business. And
all about relationships.
All about relationships, and of course, knowing what our customers love. And I know we have millions and millions of coin collectors here in the U.S.